difference? What was your journey into products like?
Sure, yeah. I'm one of those accidental product managers, which is really frustrating for aspiring product managers. It doesn't really necessarily give you, like you said, a roadmap or anything to get into product. But the way it happened for me, as I mentioned, I started my career in operations. I was working for a small English language testing company for immigration. Very random. I got really interested in data analysis, and I've always been pretty, good with numbers. I like math, and I like analyzing things and kind of making decisions based on that. So, had my heart set on data analysis. So I did a certification in Excel, and I was really just trying to kind of progress my career in a more technical way. I ended up bumping into one of my girlfriends from my university who was a recruiter at the time, and she was hiring for a business analyst for a large fintech organization. I first said that I'm not interested in business analysis. I just want to do data analysis. But she ended up actually convincing me to apply for the job. And later, when I researched business analysis, I was like, okay, this is pretty cool. It's actually better than data analysis. So that was actually my first mistake, just being really narrow and very rigid on what I was looking for. I think the key is just to really be as open as possible in terms of your opportunities. So anyway, I applied for the business analyst job. I ended up getting hired on their emerging products team that only had about 3 people on it at the time. So my boss, who was the director of the department, he had just prototyped a new web application. So he needed people that were willing to kind of deal with the wild, wild west, essentially, and just scale this application, get some first enterprise customers on board. So I was doing the role of a business analyst, but also kind of a hybrid. So I was doing a little bit of coding as well. No coding experience, but startup environment, just have to kind of roll with it. I did a lot of, customer work in terms of, scaling the platform to these multiple enterprise customers. So I was doing that for about a year. And because I was one of the early people on the team, I really learned the application inside out, including the technology. Like by about 6 months in, I was, really comfortable with a lot of the code and kind of talking with the developers and stuff. And so at that point in that company, there actually were no product managers. They only had business analysts. They're a bit of an older corporation, so that's kind of how they were set up. And so my boss, about a year in, he realized that, we need product managers for this product that he had created. And so he essentially started telling me about product management. I'd never heard of it before, but the way he described it, I really liked it because it was kind of just the perfect combination of dealing with customers, working with developers, and also being involved in the strategy. I just felt like it was a nice kind of interdisciplinary role. So essentially, he got the approval from the company to create roles for product managers. And at that point, I was promoted to be a product manager. I probably did a minimal interview, but it was kind of like an internal progression. So that's essentially how I got into product.